Hello everyone, I am Varun, Chartered Accountant with 4 years experience. Of this 4 years, I had about 3 years stint with industry and I have now got into practice. Having come to the regional conference here, I now got an opportunity to meet my dearest guru, Sekar sir, and I am now finding this practice really an interesting area and also a challenging area. So I just thought, I shall take his advice as well. I can get some questions clarified from him. Sir, first of all, what is your first advice for the students, or young professionals who just come into practice?
See, first when young professional comes to practice, you should not choose I want to practice only in direct tax or indirect tax or project or corporate. You should be mentally prepared to do any field of finance. First day itself you cannot tell I will choose only direct tax practice, or I will choose only do indirect tax consultancy, or I will do only corporate advisory service, I will do only project. Then sometimes if you are lucky enough, you will be break even in very short span of time. But sometimes it may take a longer duration. See, this is like this. A person wants to start a small business in an area. He wants to start a consumer grocery business. Anything else, it should be there. Somebody is asking toothpaste, it is there. Somebody is asking some vegetables should be there. Everything should be there. Then the customer comes, you are in a position to serve. Like that, they will start a shop. Like that, you should be mentally prepared to do within the 4 walls of commerce. Whether it is a VAT service or a service tax service or a excise service or a direct tax service or formation of company or preparation of project report or small assignments of internal audit, any area you should be mentally prepared. But at the same time you have to think whether it is a cost effective also, because young chartered accountants coming, even in the market it is the environment, what they will try to do, okay, young chartered accountant will give me a big work for a smaller fish, small fees. Like that, the exploitation is also there in the market. So you have to be cautiously evaluate and choose the area. But mentally you have to keep one area. After 5 years, after 10 years, you should set a goal for 15 years. 15 years after from today. Today you start practice. After 15 years, how I myself feel? What level I should reach? So for this further, then backward you are planning. 15th year I have to achieve that level. Within 2 years how much I reach, 5 years how much I reach, 7 years how much I reach, 10 years how much. So your long-term goal should be defined in a short term, and accordingly you have to plan. And you should not forget your core interest. Suppose you are interested in only in corporate advisory services. You should put your whole heart effort on this area, equip your knowledge and everything. But till you establish very good clients in the area you chosen, you should be mentally prepared to provide service in all this area. That is always welcome.
So, but one doubt, like many of my friends or I also have is, now it has become like, the era of specialization. People talk about specialization. Even take an example of a doctor's profession. We have, a specialist for each part of our body. Similarly, I feel the profession is going in that direction. So that being the case, how, where this young generation CAs to start? If they just, as you said, if they just start off a general practice, now the client's expectations become, specialists. They need a specialist for, attempting or, solving their problems. So, how do you think the young generation professionals can suit that? How this general practice can suit the requirements of our clients, or what should they do basically? Whether they need any knowledge building thing to, actually get into this kind of...
You are asking a very nice question, Arun. This depends upon how you plan to start a practice. You want to be a practicing chartered accountant, you can join a small size or medium size firm, already who are established, start work along with them. Over a period of time you can prove your efficiency service, and then they automatically take into you as a partner. That is one way. There they will utilize your knowledge or service only in one area. Second, you can 3 or 4 friends interested in different fields. One may be interested in direct tax, one may be interested in indirect tax, one may be a corporate advisories, one is a financial service like that. Of your age group, 3 or 4 people who are having a common goal to come up in life as an entrepreneur, but having interest in different field but come together. Your own batchmate or 1 or 2 years, juniors or seniors, you can join. And whatever the client's opportunity comes, you can utilize, but there should be a common good understanding should be there. See, one thing I would like to tell about this profession, as on date India, 1,17,000 practicing chartered accountants are there, of which more than 72,000 chartered accountants are proprietary practice, individual practice. Nearly 43,000 registered as a proprietary firm, another 32,000 or 30,000 practicing in their own name. So who are together, joint practice, because today we are in Chennai, this regional conference, if you ask me. Chennai, if you ask me, how many firms are having more than 10 partners in Chennai alone? If you take, you could count less than 30 firms. That means 3 out of Chennai, whole city of Chennai, nearly where 5,000 practicing chartered accountants are there, only 300 people come together to form a bigger, little larger size firm. So here the mental setup is more essential. That understanding is there, then starting stage itself you can start as a interesting field. Care and share basis, you can start and work together. But at the same time, you start as an individual proprietor or 2 friends together. One wanted to do direct tax and one wanted to do indirect tax. Like that, you want to start together to reach the level of break-even for your establishment practice. Otherwise, you lose confidence. One point of time, you will feel that whether I have taken a wrong decision for coming practice. Those cases, what I will suggest, mentally prepared, whatever I learn, I get an opportunity, I will use it. That is the most important thing. See, I will tell you very practically, in your curriculum, you are just 4 years back, you qualified. See your curriculum, in CA curriculum, A to Z of finance has been taught. You want to be a financial advice services, you have been taught good in your management accounting, strategic financial management, advanced management accounting, all this area, whether you have to buy or lease or merge or amalgamate, internal return, everything has been taught. You want to be a tax consultant, you have been taught on direct taxes separately, indirect tax separately, corporate law procedures separately, FEMA, SEBI, everything has been taught to you. As an academic curriculum, if you see, everything of finance and commerce has been taught to you with education. But it depends upon the institution or the principal under whom you have done articleship, where what scope of area were given. You should not think that I have been in only internal audit practice or concurrent audit articleship, or I have done only in tax return filing, or I have done only in tax audits, or I have done some corporate audits, like that. You don't think about what happened in the 3 years. 3 years is a training period where your principal is having exposure or experience. That area you are given training. But your scope is not restricted only to that. First you have to come out of that. My scope is not what I have done with my principal. Scope is big. But the organization where I joined, they have given this much of training within the limited available time to me. Because practically if you ask me, you had 3 years of articleship, in that 4 months you could have taken a leave for your examination, Saturdays, Sundays and festival holidays, marriages and all put together. If you discount all the period, out of 1095 days, 3 years period, you could have effectively worked only 2 years. To settle in the office itself, first 3 months you could have taken. So all this period you had only a limited period, and age is also you are very young. So considering all these points, you should not think that is only the ultimate opportunity. Opportunities are very wide. How you are using is only the question.
And coming from what you said, we talked about, you said about, what is there in the curriculum, what we have done. I do agree, sir, I completely agree that we have learned all the basics, right? as far as the CA curriculum is concerned. I can say I know some bit of direct tax or bit of company or whatever it is. But somewhere, when it really comes to handling the situation, it becomes a little difficult. For example, till then maybe for example, if I say I want to practice in direct tax, till then I don't know how to approach case, how to approach a case or how to approach an assessing officer in the income tax department, or procedurally what are the things that I should do, where should I start in case I get a hearing notice from the income tax department for one of my client. So where should I start? There is some procedurally something that the young professionals are finding it difficult to understand. So what is your suggestion or advice to the young professionals as to what they should do exactly?
See, this is where I would like to tell young professionals. Either you should join with a medium or little larger size firm, you can start practice, or you want to start your own. I started as a proprietor. But when I started practice, I created some good mentors for me. If you immediately ask me, mentors for me means don't think that I know them for the last 10 years or 15 years. Through my friends and connectivity, I created some mentors in banking service, some created mentors in direct taxes, mentors in the sense who are elder to me by 10-15 years, went and met them. I gave my card as a junior post chartered accountant. Sir, I started practice. I came to understand that you are a senior chartered accountant in this field. Professionally, any help I want or suggestion I want, can you help me if I need something? Can you advise me like that? Any senior chartered accountant will never say no for an young chartered accountant coming and asking them. First, you should have that confidence. You tell me how many chartered accountants you started practice, you went and met them, a senior chartered accountant, sir, I started practice. If I have a doubt, can you help me to clarify? Any single thing. This is what so many people, we ourselves think, whether they will help me or not. How can I ask them? This is a psychological fear. But when I started practice, I went to a few people. I don't want to mention the name because we are in conference, but so many people supported me as a mentor in so many areas. Secondly, I will tell you an experience. In 1991, first time I appeared before a tribunal. I myself prepared the appeal for the tribunal. I filed in the tribunal, but I don't know how to go and appear. I only know that I have to wear a coat and suit and go and appear. So when I met one of the most senior most chartered accountant in Chennai, their office regularly appearing for tribunal. I told him, sir, a hearing notice has come, sir. What to do with that? How can what I do? Still I am able to remember such a senior person. Don't worry. What is the day of the case, you tell me? That day, I also personally came. He noted in his diary. He came and sit next to me. He said, you talk. And he told me, first time when you are appearing before the tribunal, that time I am only just 5 years experienced person appearing before the tribunal. Practice itself 5 years. So he used to, on records, told me, you tell the member, this is my first case before the tribunal I am appearing. So member itself, so he said, the tribunal member itself will motivate you like that. So that is, after that I appeared tribunal in so many number of times, but still I am able to recollect. So what you are telling is, I am appearing before the assessing officer, how will question? You should create some good, if you are already in an established firm, no problem, the firm experience will support you. If you are not in established firm, you are starting on your own, you have to create some good mentors around you, supportive mentors with you. Because seniors also always have a feeling, no seniors will feel that juniors are competitors. No, seniors will also feel young members has to grow. So many people are prepared to support the juniors in the report. Only thing is, our forefathers told, hungry child has to cry. You should come and ask. Today you are asking me a question on this client. And on so many occasions you met me. Like that you can go and ask, sir, this notice has come, how to write a reply. They may be busy because sometimes your speed they will have, because they are already pre-committed. But certainly they will help you. Another thing also you tell, if you go and appearing before the officer, if you are not able to answer the point, you tell, sir, I need some more time to preparation. I am a young chartered accountant practice. I have to discuss with my client, I have to come. How see, the practice needs not only knowledge in the field you are working, knowledge how to communicate and convince the others. Because I used to tell, communication means what you speak, the others should understand. So when you are appearing before the assessing officer for a notice or anything, first go and chart it down. First tell him, sir, I am chartered accountant. This is my first case I am coming for a hearing. What are the details you want? What you give me? Normally we say 1 week time, sir, I am a young person, sir, I have a lot of commitment, you give me a little more extended time. Like that, how politely, humbly you are building up the relationship. Ultimately, the interpersonal relationship you built with the officials, environment, society, people, that only make you great, not only knowledge. Knowledge contribution make you great is 40%. Your interpersonal relationship, how you build, that will give you balance 60%.
That is fine, sir. Actually, I understand. Like, yes, we need to, get back to our senior professionals and, understand what they do and try to get their advice or try to get their support. One perspective that is right, and the other thing is, like, I also feel there should be a lot of reading that should go on. And why can't this be included as part of a curriculum? As you said, just in our GMCS we had some mock interviews being conducted. Why can't this mock session of attending a hearing with the assessing officer? Because yes, maybe in articleship some of the young professionals would have got this exposure, but not all. So why can't this be included as part of curriculum?
I think so, whether you know that or not, so many tax conferences or seminars, institutes, mock tribunals are conducted. Even in the last 4 years, in my knowledge, at least 2 times in Chennai regional office, they conducted a mock tribunal also. But you may not have seen those things and you may not have able to participate. Institute is also doing this type of thing, attending mock tribunal. But we are not, to my knowledge, telling how to present before the assessing officer, mock appearing before the... Because you say everything by way of a demonstration process. It is a good suggestion, but it cannot be included in a curriculum like that. It cannot be included as a curriculum like that. But what we suggest is, because now you completed articleships, a lot of students also I can tell, you take the confidence of your auditors when they are going for hearing another thing, you take them. See, I know some of the senior chartered accountants during their 3rd years of articleship for their generation, or when they go for scrutiny assessment or any other assessment, they will take the seniors also. But it is happening only in the small and medium-sized firms, not in a very big firm, taking articles for the assessment and other thing. But you suggested whether we can do it, but I will tell you, practical issues or problem is there for this type of training, I tell you. Latest in the council, we also come to know that our students, we are giving good curriculum, but how to build up confidence and courage in the minds of the young generation who are coming out of the course. So we made a small study in the council also. See, average if you take every 6 months, passing both the group, already passed one group, now cleared the second group like that, 5,000 to 7,000 members, every 6 months new members are coming. Anything between, take it 5,000 to 7,000 members. 5,000 to 7,000 members after they completed the course. If I call for a 6 months in-house training, first, am I as an institution equipped with in-house training for training 6,000 people? First question. Because if I have to train 6,000 people as in-house training, because that in-house training only bring out the best product. Today, IIMs, IITs or any established institution able to give you a qualitative self-confidence people out of the institution because of in-house training. If that type of in-house training I have to give first, then I need a place like institution for keeping 6,000 people for every 6 months. So yearly, minimum 6 months training is not sufficient, at least 1 year training is the must. Even in IAS or IPS or any training, best institution if you're coming out, they are having 12 months to 18 months in-house training. So that 12 months training is enough. In a year I need 12,000 people to train. I need minimum at least equal to the size of 4 or 5 IIM campus like that place. Immediately you may be asking me then, sure. First for that I have to change the curriculum. I have to go to the Ministry of Commerce, and then I have to Ministry of Company Affairs, and then I have to take the permission. Then I have to establish all these things. Ultimately, it is a non-profit making organization like that. Till date, we are not depending on any government funds or anything. So it involves a lot of discussion. Even in the last 2 years, this thought process come and drop. But as of date, what the institute is doing for 3 months, by paying 100 days around 3 months, 30 to 40,000 rupees in our Hyderabad Center of Excellence. Those final student or just a completed student, there is a in-house training process in Center of Excellence Hyderabad is already started and going on. To my knowledge, in the last 1 year, around 400 people completed that type of training also. So your suggestion is good. Vision is also there in the institute, but how to bridge the gap? It is only a question which is working.
The other difficulty again, I feel, many of my friends who are into practice are all facing is again the knowledge front. I mean, like, I agree that it's as you said, it's 40% of knowledge and 60% of interpersonal relationship. But again, when it comes to this knowledge, we are finding it difficult to at the initial stage, to access many of the knowledge resources. For example, tax case laws or companies act, case laws or commentary books and all that. Maybe at the start, I'm not sure if I as a professional will be able to afford that kind of expenditure to gain access to those knowledge portals as such. So is there any initiative that could come from institute side so that all are benefited in this front?
See, we made as a chairman committee for members in practice, I have taken an analysis of last 10 years, the members who are less than 10 years experience, of which I had a track record of around 3,000 members in this country or in practice in a proprietary capacity in the last 10 years individually. As you rightly said, knowledge is most important. In my tenure, in the last 30 months, I have taken certain steps. Now I am able to see the little light. For example, you rightly said buying the book, everything. So we released a CD also, the knowledge bank of the ICA this time. It is for all the practicing members given, keeping in mind the youngsters only. So, but at the same time, when I am bringing a project, I don't want to distinguish between young member and senior member because knowledge is necessary for everyone. So now you cannot say that I can go for whether accounting standard or guidance note or anything of the institute, it is there. Like that, I also taken this matter in the council by paying few thousand rupees or 2,000 rupees by every member. Because ultimately, not only knowledge is important for you, every member it is important for me. I cannot go on by book. See, I tell you, I am in 30 years of practice. Almost 600 to 700 square feet of my office only occupied by old books I collected for the last 30 years. Mind is not permitting to dispose it because it is necessary. Now, fortunately, technology will come, everything come in the form of CD, we are trying to. So the place it occupied, the maintenance, everything, technology world, now it is not necessary. But as you rightly said, so many websites, payment websites are there in the private parties hosted in all the fields it is there. But as an individual proprietary, I think, as you rightly said, all the site facilities you want at your level at fingertips, whether it is related to direct tax site or indirect tax site or corporate site or IFRS site, to my knowledge, you have to sell it around 75,000 rupees maximum for all. I know it is average costing work out to 6,000 rupees a month for an chartered accountant. So I initiated a proposal to the institute by paying around 1,000 rupees along with the membership, whether the institute can get the license of all the people. But still, because in an organization when you initiate a new proposal, which is not at all thought of, for a longer duration, 60-65 years, that type of process is not suddenly whether the institute can go and take the license and operations of various private sites and giving to the members, negotiating with them. There are certain reservations are there, how it will positively work, negatively work, whether it is affect the name of the institute as an independent body. All these discussions are going on. But I hope some light will be seen in the future for the members. But at the same time, we have negotiated with so many people, for example, so many private side people, we negotiated for a price of lesser cost. Certain softwares, certain viral software as a committee implementations, certain insurance schemes, for example, group insurance for the members, group insurance for your office, family insurance, fire protection insurance for your properties, both office and residence, group life insurance, like that. So many things that is subsidized scheme, not only for young members, it is applicable for all members. Ultimately, if you try, we want active participation from the members. But the insurance company will come with concession premium, they come with us with a lot of expectation. See, for example, what is the group insurance outside for a medical insurance premium, and compared with the insurance, around 40 to 50% discount is given by the insurance company for the chartered accountant if they come with a group insurance for their family. With a great expectation from the insurance companies or the service providers, because Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is having 2 lakh members, at least 25% of the people come, I will get a big business. 50,000 members comes, I will get a good business. There is no need for me to run behind 50,000 people, I can get single premium check. But I am not able to mobilize even 2% to 3% of the members. Even after negotiating with, announcing the scheme, I am not doing any business for the insurance company, I am not doing marketing for any business. Because you asked what we have done. Ultimately what happened, these companies one point of time going out of the contract, sorry sir, we have not got expected premium or growth from you. So they are withdrawing their schemes also. So anything comes, I also request the members to participate effectively. So this year what I have done, after I taken up everything, I circulated all the schemes which are available for the members to all the members. Even after that I received only less than 100 persons. This is what sometimes it is happening.
Correct, sir. But again, I think one more thing, sir. I had a stint with industry for a few years, and again now into practice. I feel a lot of difference. Again, one thing that I feel is because we are into practice, or we have a lot of touch with the subject. And when it comes to industry, each company has different practices, and you need to get yourself adapted to the situation. And somehow people get a feel that they get away from the subject as such. May not be they are losing interest in confidence, but the operational activity that they do will become more than the subject. Maybe at least at the initial part of the career, because they have their own best practices that is there. With all these, I feel there's a lot of disconnect between the people working in an industry and at least I, as a practicing member, trying to access the resources that institute has made, and trying to come to a conference, connect with people, conference like this, and connect to people. But there's a lot of disconnect between the end members in industry and the institute. I don't know how to put it, but I feel the young members in industry are not bothered about what is happening in the institute. I feel there should also be a contribution from the members, young members, to the institute in terms of publication of books, or maybe helping the institute in research or something of that sort. Is there any way that we can contribute to the institute's activities?
See, it is a very good question. It is not young members going for employment lost the connectivity. If you analyze the last 6 decades, up to 2000, what happened? 30% of the members went for industry, 70% came for practice. After 2000 only, it is a reverse process. Now, around 85 to 88% of the young chartered accountants going for employment, 12 to 15% only coming for practice. There is a connectivity loss. What you said is absolutely right. It is there due to only 2 reasons. Once a person joins the industry, he wants guaranteed employment, guaranteed return for the day he works. And his mind and body and everything is tuned what the employer wants. And he has been asked to work in the system already predetermined by the employer for a 10 to 12 hours a day. 5 days or 6 days a week. So ultimately he become tired. He is not having a chance of thinking about his parent body from when he came out. When he is thinking about the institute, he gets the law of diminishing marginality about his employment. One point of time, he feels he is saturated, or he is feeling that there is no other scope other than I am going out of control, I am doing some other job. That day only he started feeling, I qualified, I studied all these things, I know connect with the institute. Institute never said you should not get the knowledge. Institute is also having everything now updated in the website, everything. But what is happening because of the free commitment in the industry for your normal working days is going there. Other time the generation want to relax. You are working in the industry, tell me, for 3 years. Some good manufacturing and one of the big company you worked, I also know that. But in that 3 years, other than your requirement for your employer, necessary need base for the employer, tell me, how many days you are opened and studied some books or materials or anything which is important for your knowledge purpose. Instead of, I am talking about, I am distinguishing, need-based study. You may have studied at the present juncture what is required for your employer to work necessarily. How much you studied voluntarily, which is not necessary for my employment, but as a professional chartered accountant, I need a membership-based study.
The ratio is really less.
Really negligible, that's the reason. See, that is the reason they are losing out, going away from the institute. You have to update. See, this is what I used to tell. How a software engineer update? Whether he is go for example, software engineer go for employment, or a software engineer having an entrepreneur, both of them updating their knowledge what is going on presently. Think of a doctor working in hospitals or government or a private practitioner. They are daily updating their knowledge as per the present day requirement. But the minute the chartered accountant as a finance professional joined employment, what is happening, or even in practice, what is happening? The day join the employment, they forget to update themselves. I have to update at least in a certain common areas, not in depth, at least what is going on. Today India is coming. What is the India? What is its requirement? No. I am in indirect tax department. I am not connected with that. I am in direct tax department. I am not connected with that. No. I am practically in employers advisory capacity, employees advisory roles of various employees act. So it is no way connected. Like that, not to learn we are finding so many reasons. Little change in your mental attitude. I am ultimately a finance professional. What I learn in finance I can update day by day what is happening, not necessarily in depth, at least in fundamentals. Then this type of problem will arise.
I think you have motivated me a little towards this, to get into this practice. But of the things, I just want to get two other things clarified from you. One is that many of my friends, who are still into, many of my juniors who are into articleship and all that, they all find this, CA plus one more course is what institute just permits, and not the other, not more than that. Maybe I think we require a special permission from the institute. Why would all this restriction need to be in place?
See, this is also we discussed in the institute because your curriculum is 35 hours minimum work during the articleship. Secondly, you are permitted to do this course plus one more course also of your choice. Institute is not telling you to study this course. If they go for more number of courses, allow more number of courses, the effective time in acquiring the knowledge and specialization for this course may be got diluted. That is one of the feeling of the institute. Somebody is telling, I am having capacity, I am able to do it 2 courses or 3 courses. Institute is not saying no. You take the special permission. How many of them requested the institute special permission? Institute will say, you take the permission. You convince the institute and council. If they are not giving them, let us see. Institute is not telling you not to give. One condition, by submitting your form 112, it is automatically given. Any other course you want to do, take the permission of the institute. I have not come across a case, sir, I requested the permission, but they denied me. That is a case you come and bring it to me. If it is a good case, I can present to the council. Why not you consider?
And one more thing, sir, this is also again concern of many of the members. And when it comes to institute elections, like many members feel when they want to vote, when some members, I don't know how many of them vote right now. Many of them, whomever I contacted with regard to this, many of them has a feeling that they are employed elsewhere. Their registration is with one of the regional officers where they had been basically their native place, and they are employed elsewhere. So they are finding it difficult, physically travel from all the way to come to their native and cast vote. Why in an era of where we have information technology in place, I will not say that you should try and give an option of e-voting. I don't know how far it's practically possible, but at least the chance to the members to vote from where they are. I know institute is present everywhere, across the country, but why not they vote from the place where they are, or at least why not we extend the postal ballot voting that we have in the institute to the members who are not in their native place.
You asked a very nice question. Two things, the same thing I also had in my mind before I entered the council, why this council is not doing. Then after that, what is the regulations written for, because there is a separate election regulations are there for this institute. I gone through this regulation after I joined the council. The council permits, suppose, see what the council say, you ask you to give the permanent address. So I've seen a case, I will take as one of the specific cases. A girl is working, studied in Cochin, passed from Cochin. She registered her first membership from Cochin. After some time, she joined one of the big company in Chennai. Even after joining Chennai for 3 years, not change the permanent address, professional address. See, when you change your place of profession to other place, you could have changed your professional address. Even in that case, the institute is giving an option, you change the profession. See, institute is not telling you should not change the profession. We are giving an option. But institute is giving only one concession. Due to your employment, they are taking, for example, this year election means they are taking the cut-off date 1st April 2015. Suppose you are in employment in some other place in the last 5 months before the election notification. Because of your transfer of employment or change of employment, you shifted the place. If you give a letter from your employer, they are giving you a permission to vote it by post. But in the election reform goes, I was also the member last year, we suggested at least within the region, anywhere the member can go and vote. Anywhere? Member can go and vote. That's what we gave a suggestion of report also. But the administrative, ultimately, as a council, I can give you a report, they say, but ultimately the office has to support you. The administrative office has to. But the administrative office is not physically or mentally equipped to take the challenge for this election. It may come with the next election or maybe. At least within the region, anywhere vote. Because what we given a suggestion is within the region, they are asking so many questions. Suppose you are in a place, your registered place is where only 1 day polling. But another place there is a 2 day polling. Some member from that try to utilize and shift from 1 day polling to 2 day polling place, come and vote, misuse the position. Like that, 5 or 6 strong, I won't say criticism points, some issues they brought it. So for that, immediately council is not in a position to take the decision before this election discussion was going on. So they deferred all the things. They said we will think over for the next election like that. But already there was a group formed and negotiated. They can vote anywhere within the region, but that election reform report is there. It was given 3 months back. But the administration is not fully equipped for that. So over a period of time, the change may come. I hope so.
One final question, sir. I mean, like, I think we have to go for the next session. So, one final question, like, a first generation chartered accountant. I mean, his parents are from a different background. He is qualified. So, what is your suggestion to him? Practice or employment? I mean, your input on
If you ask me this question, I am a first generation chartered accountant. I don't have a background. My father is only an employer. So many occasions I told you, at the time of his retirement, 27 years back, he drawn his salary of only 1,000 rupees. But I want to practice. I will ask first only one question. Whomever I am chartered, what is the flair inside? That is most important. What is the flair in your mind, in your side? That only bring out the flavor out it. See, I cannot put a mango seed to grow a coconut tree, or a coconut seed to put a mango. So your flair is inside is practice, or your flair is inside to go for employment. Decide where you will fit. Don't keep 1 lakh here, 1 lakh there. What is the best chance there? Wherever kind, that means you are not decided what you want in your life. I do not have a better background. I have to go for employment for 5 years after come for practice means always the risk factor is high for a chartered accountant, because a chartered accountant qualify in the age of 21, 22. 5 years go for employment after they come for practice. When he get 27, he is a bar, a girl, the parents will try to get him married, give him more commitment of spouse after their children. Then he will not think anything on this work. That is one of the reasons I thought, I want to jump practice, first day itself I jumped to the practice. Even before result come, I said my parents, I am going to practice, don't expect to. So that is one thing. But when you choose for employment also, you think where you can get more exposure of practical knowledge than the pay package. That's the idea. See, people are valuing how you are evaluating, where is my pay package is very high there only. You initially will get some pay package, but your exposure is not good. Knowledge is not good practically. One point of time you will be stagnant. But younger age, even little lesser package, your exposure to the various field of finance or knowledge is very high. You take the risk for lesser package. What you are sacrificing is investment for learning that extra knowledge. But that is missing among some youngsters. So the change in attitude has come, then it will be very good. But I used to say, whether it is I would want to tell one thing very interesting. So many seminars are where I have spoken, I have given this point. In India, there are only less than 7 lakh companies. Less than?
7 lakh.
Private, public, of which less than 6,000 companies are only listed companies effectively there. 7 lakh companies are only there. As per the new Companies Act, even if I give restriction for all companies, all chartered account, only 20 companies, 35,000 chartered account can only audit companies. 16 lakh 70,000 tax audit. If I give the rate of 60 per chartered accountant, 30,000 chartered accountant only have the tax credit. That means average 30 to 35,000 students will take all the Companies Act and tax audit. But clearly you are having 1 lakh. This is where I would like to tell. At the same time, you analyze the government reports of the economic survey. 45% of this government revenue contribution comes from unorganized sector. Like proprietary concern, partnership firm, AOP, so many unorganized sector only contributing for the GDP or direct tax or indirect tax revenue growth they are giving. So in that situation, I used to advise the young generation, if you go for employment, set your goal very clear. One point of time I should reach the level of a CEO of your organization, if not possible at least CFO. If you come for practice, keep your mind open. Don't think that only auditing function is the only your function. You have been taught everything now. Any corporate clients comes to me. Big corporate according to the expectation you serve. But a small company comes, they are not affordable to have a CFO. How can I function like a CFO for a business community? You put yourself, don't make the client to think auditor can only do this thing. Tell the client, auditor can do anything for the requirement in the business or financial field as an advisory capacity. Educate the client, work like a CFO. What is the CFO doing? CFO is doing multiple cooperation for the organization. For the small corporate companies, you do it. Or any businessman in an unorganized sector company, make him to feel and function like a CFO for him. Suppose he is not in the business sector. He is working in employment or non-business sector people coming. Don't think that you have to file only his income tax return, do some things. You try to educate him. I am not only a tax consultant or income tax facilitator, filing return facilitator. I can work you like a wealth manager, investment advisor. That type of thing, through your salaries only you can make him to understand. So that open mind and attitude is there. Opportunity to grow is very high in this country. Like, see, I'll give you a small example. How many cell phone companies or car companies came to India? See the population. See, the population is the asset. 2 lakh, that's what I used to tell. 2 lakh chartered accountant today, of which 1,10,000 only effectively practice in India, has to serve 130 crore population. 130 crore population. That means every practicing chartered accountant has to serve 10,000 people. Think of it. Vision is there. We are not trying to exploit or innovate the situation. That's the reason we are waiting. Opportunity will not come and strike. Sometimes it will come and fall on your laps. Sometimes you need to innovate. How better you are dealing with the situation, that we will grow. Any help? Always my hand is extended to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All the best.